This is it, the veil is thinning, and tonight, something is watching you. It's not just another new moon, it's a cosmic event unlike any you've experienced before, carrying a hidden message designed to completely rewrite your reality, but only if you're willing to listen. This isn't just about personal feelings. This is a profound, energetic shift happening across the cosmos, and you've been chosen to be at the forefront. This new moon, positioned under a rare alignment of other planetary forces, isn't a gentle nudge. It's a powerful wave set to reshape the landscape of your entire life. If you ignore the message it's carrying, it may wash over you, leaving you disoriented and lost. But if you heed the call, you will find yourself in a place of greater power than you can imagine. But are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you? What if this new moon is trying to tell you something critical and you're not paying attention? This new moon acts as a powerful catalyst, amplifying the realities within and around you. It's stirring up energies that have long been dormant and forcing them into the light. This isn't about some distant cosmic influence. This is about you, your life, and the unseen forces that are subtly shaping your experiences. You, with your heightened sensitivity and awareness, are uniquely positioned to receive this message and understand its true depth. This specific message isn't a broadcast for the masses. It is a personalized transmission tailored specifically for those who are on the path of awakening, those who feel a subtle pull towards something more. This new moon's alignment with other planetary bodies intensifies its power, making this message even more critical to recognize and understand. Have you been feeling restless, on edge, or unable to focus? These aren't random feelings. They're the echoes of this hidden message attempting to surface within you. The new moon's hidden message will manifest across 3 critical dimensions of your life: your relationships, your career and purpose, and the personal narratives that dictate how you see yourself. These areas aren't separate. They're interconnected threads woven into the fabric of your existence. A shift in one area creates ripples in others, making it essential to understand the full scope of this new moon's influence. Think of it like this: if you have an unhealthy relationship with your partner, it will affect how you show up in your work and in your personal life. A career that is draining your spirit will affect how you relate to yourself and others. This new moon is demanding that you see all of these areas with a clear lens to ensure they are working in harmony and not against each other. This isn't a time for gentle adjustments. This new moon is creating conditions ripe for radical transformation. Typically, a new moon symbolizes fresh beginnings and intention setting, but this new moon is an amplifier, taking these concepts to an unprecedented level. The energies it's unleashing will not just present opportunities, they will demand change. If you are not proactively aligned with them, you may experience significant disruptions. This isn't a prediction of doom, but an urgent warning to be aware and intentional. This is the moment when you step into your power, or the moment when you allow the universe to drag you along the path you have been trying to avoid. It's a choice that you have to make, and it is a choice that you have to make now. How are you going to respond? This isn't just a fleeting cosmic event. It's a monumental shift that will have lasting effects on your personal reality. It's about whether or not you are willing to understand and act upon the hidden message that is being delivered to you now. It is about understanding that this is not a small ripple, but a tidal wave that will be changing the entire landscape of your life. The level of power and clarity you receive from this information will directly determine your navigation through these upcoming changes. Ignoring it won't make it go away. It will simply make the journey more tumultuous. So, are you prepared for what is to come, and are you truly ready for the kind of shift that is inevitable? The impact of this new moon extends far beyond just a shift in your internal emotional landscape. This energy will touch everything. It has the power to change not just your personal feelings, but also the dynamics within your relationships, the direction of your career path, and your overall sense of self. Your current trajectory might be completely upended, depending on how you respond to the messages being sent your way. This isn't about adding more stress into your life, but creating a space of greater authenticity and alignment. Don't be surprised if this message leads to sudden endings that make way for incredible new beginnings. The point is, are you going to be the person in control of that change, or are you going to allow yourself to be moved and tossed around by the power of this new moon? Those who aren't aware of this hidden message might feel overwhelmed and disoriented by these shifts. But because you are watching this video, you are among the few who have been chosen to receive this knowledge. This isn't a coincidence, but a guided experience. You've been led here for a reason. This information isn't widely available. It's a transmission meant specifically for you. You're one of the few who is aware enough to understand these changes, and that is not something to take lightly. What will you do with this knowledge? Are you going to use this opportunity to create something incredible, or are you going to let the information go to waste? This new moon represents a unique opportunity to rewrite the story of your life. It is about finally stepping into the most authentic version of yourself. You are being invited to participate in actively shaping your own future, rather than being a passive observer of events. This isn't just about dealing with what's happening, but about taking control and intentionally moving toward your highest path. It is a chance to make a radical shift in how you relate to your life and to the world, and it's up to you to decide if you will take that leap or not. But how are you going to do that? What steps will you take to ensure that you will be able to navigate these changes successfully? New moons generally signal new beginnings and opportunities, but this new moon's energy has been dialed up to an extreme level. The astrological alignment is making its influence especially potent, and the energy it is releasing is not to be ignored. This isn't a typical moon phase. This is a call to action, a challenge, and an invitation to step into your potential. It is not just about setting new intentions, it's about fundamentally shifting your energetic alignment, which can only happen if you are willing to receive and understand the hidden messages it contains. This is not a passive process, it demands your conscious participation. This is a time to release what no longer serves you and actively embrace what you wish to create. The core of this message lies in the concept of hidden messages. These aren't literal pronouncements or coded instructions, but rather subtle energetic shifts and intuitive nudges. They are the uncomfortable feelings, the persistent thoughts, and the strange synchronicities that highlight the underlying truths about your life. Have you been feeling that you're on the cusp of something but are unsure of what it is? Or perhaps, have you had a nagging feeling that something isn't quite right? These are not random feelings, but signals and indications of the subtle nudges of this new moon. These are the ways that the messages begin to reveal themselves, and it's your responsibility to pay attention. It is time to trust what you are feeling and allow the information to come through. These hidden messages are interconnected, like three threads woven together across the areas of relationships, career purpose, and personal narratives. Shifts in one area will reverberate across the others, creating a complex dance of transformation. If you are ignoring the problems within your relationship with your partner, it will impact your success in your career, and it will affect how you see yourself. It is all intertwined, which is why it's essential to consider the full scope of the message being sent your way. What might begin as a challenge in your career could reveal deeper issues in your personal narratives, or the opposite may be true, and that's why it's crucial to be open to all possibilities. This isn't just about seeing one area of your life, but seeing them all as a whole. Each hidden message will initially present as a challenge or disruption. It could show up as a difficult conversation in a relationship, a feeling of restlessness in your job, or a sudden surge of self-doubt. But these challenges are not meant to be roadblocks. They're designed to be doorways, inviting you to step into greater alignment and authenticity. What may feel like a breakup might actually be the end of an era and the beginning of something far more aligned. What may feel like a job loss might actually be your soul calling you into your true purpose. This new moon will make it very difficult to ignore what's not working, and that's a very good thing. This isn't about avoiding discomfort, it's about using discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Have you been noticing an unusual increase in conflict in your closest connections. Have you been feeling a sense of discontent in your work, like what you're doing isn't what you're meant to be doing? Or have you had an unshakable feeling that something in your identity needs to change? These aren't random thoughts or coincidences. They are the messages of this new moon, pushing you to confront the truths that have been hidden just beneath the surface. Tonight, the moon speaks, but are you truly ready to listen? Are you willing to accept the sometimes harsh realities that come with the truth? The truth isn't always pretty, and this new moon won't be making exceptions. This new moon has the potential to create unexpected revelations and to challenge the foundations of your current reality. You may not find this easy, and the messages that come through may be hard to accept. However, the path to growth requires stepping through the discomfort. This journey will demand courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to let go of everything that is no longer serving you. What feels chaotic now is actually a realignment, and it's time to embrace it with intention. These truths aren't meant to harm you, they're meant to set you free. Are you ready to step into that kind of freedom? The seeds of these messages are being planted in your current experiences. Perhaps you've been finding yourself in endless loops with the same person, or perhaps your job is starting to feel like a prison. Maybe you've noticed that your self-criticism is getting harsher. These are all indicators of the hidden messages that are making their way to the surface, and these areas are preparing to be rewritten. If you allow yourself to be present, you will begin to see these connections for yourself. This is a unique time of heightened awareness. Take advantage of it. Specific practices like journaling and inner child work will be introduced later to help you navigate these shifts and to understand these messages. This is not a journey you have to take on alone. These tools are here to support you as you begin to consciously create the next chapter of your life. Be open to the possibilities that are about to be revealed to you and be ready to take action with the information you will receive. Tonight, everything begins to change, and how you navigate this process is entirely up to you. But what exactly is this hidden message the new moon is bringing? The first one revolves around your closest connections, the relationships that shape so much of your daily experience. This isn't just about romance. It extends to your family, your friends, your colleagues with whom you share a significant bond. It's as if a new level of clarity is emerging, forcing you to face relational patterns that have long been operating just beneath the surface. Perhaps you've noticed that arguments are escalating, or that there's a strange distance growing between you and those you hold dear. You might even find yourself feeling suddenly ghosted or completely unseen. These aren't just random occurrences, they are signals of a deeper shift in the way energy is flowing through your relationships. The new moon, in its alignment with Venus, the planet of love and relationships, intensifies this effect. This isn't just a subtle whisper, but a cosmic shout demanding that you reevaluate your bonds. But here's the crucial part. This isn't about passively observing these changes. This is an invitation to participate actively in a relational reset. The question isn't about whether or not relationships will change, but are you going to be in control of what changes? What are you ready to release tonight? Now, this isn't only about observing what is happening around you. This new moon is asking you to dig deeper into your experience and ask yourself, how are your closest connections serving you? Are they filling you with energy, or are they draining you? Are they bringing out the best version of yourself, or the one that tries to shrink into the shadows? This hidden message is a harsh mirror held up to your relational patterns. This isn't a time for comfortable lies. It's time to be ruthless in what you are accepting. While arguments might be unavoidable right now, what do you hope to achieve through them? Are you hoping to be heard, to be understood, or are you looking to win? While the patterns have been visible before, what does this clarity allow for you? What could happen if you stopped playing the games and asked for what you truly needed? This isn't about blaming or fault-finding, but about recognizing the role you play in creating these cycles. Perhaps what you thought was a loving relationship is built on a foundation of codependency, or perhaps a friendship that you thought would last forever has run its course. The hidden message this new moon holds is that it's time to acknowledge the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is, and to move forward with new intention and clarity. This isn't a time for subtle shifts, but for radical honesty and a complete reevaluation of the relational dynamics in your life. What are you truly willing to accept, and what are you not? But what exactly is this hidden message the new moon is bringing? The second hidden message is all about your career and your life's purpose, and how that is being impacted by this cosmic event. The restlessness you may be experiencing isn't random. It is a signal that a significant shift is needed in how you're spending your days. This isn't about jumping ship without a plan, but about reevaluating what truly fulfills you and what direction you want to take your life. Perhaps you're finding yourself increasingly dissatisfied with your current career path, questioning the impact you're making, or feeling like your potential is being stifled. You might be starting to see new opportunities that previously weren't even visible, or feeling an unusual pull towards a path that doesn't make any logical sense. The message may not feel as chaotic as the relational shifts, but it deserves just as much attention. You're being asked to reevaluate your sense of meaning and fulfillment, to ask if your daily work is aligned with your true calling. Remember, the moon's alignment with the planets influences more than just your emotional world. It also affects the alignment of resources and opportunities in your life. This is about tapping into the natural flow of the universe and creating space for what is meant for you. This message is inviting you to not only see what is, but to understand what you're truly capable of. Are you ready to receive it? And it's crucial to understand that this hidden message can be a sense that something needs to shift. A burning dissatisfaction with what is. It may feel like an itch you cannot scratch, but what it is your soul demanding that it be listened to. This isn't just about making a change for the sake of change, but about doing so with intention and purpose. Have you been noticing how your current job makes you feel? Are you excited to go to work, or is it something you dread? Are you using your natural talents and abilities, or do you feel like you're constantly trying to fit into a mold that isn't yours? It's time to be honest with yourself about the kind of relationship you have with your job. Just like our closest connections, our relationship to our job needs reevaluation as well, and the hidden message of this new moon is to start making those difficult decisions. Perhaps the dissatisfaction is actually your true path pulling you closer. What could happen if you let yourself listen? The alignment of the planets right now may open doors you never even knew existed, and they are there for you to walk through. The universe isn't trying to lead you down a wrong path, but to support you in the most fulfilling one. What would your life look like if you were aligned with your purpose? What does success look like for you? The universe wants to know, and so do you. It's time to rewrite this story. But what exactly is this hidden message the new moon is bringing? The third, and perhaps most profound hidden message, revolves around the personal narratives that shape your perception of reality. While the shifts in your relationships and career are significant, what's happening within you is the most impactful of all. This new moon is illuminating the limiting stories you've been telling yourself and the beliefs that have been holding you back. This message may be the most subtle of the three, but it's also the most powerful because it addresses the core of your identity. This is where the real transformation begins. Perhaps you are starting to notice that inner voice that constantly criticizes you, and you're now seeing it with a greater sense of clarity. Maybe you are becoming aware of the ways you have been sabotaging your own success. The moon is holding a mirror up to your inner landscape and asking if you like what you see. This message isn't about external factors, but about the invisible forces that have shaped your identity up until now. You are more powerful than you've been allowing yourself to believe, and that has to change. This new moon may illuminate some harsh realities in your relationship to yourself. Perhaps that internal voice has been a little too comfortable in its constant criticism. Or perhaps you're beginning to see that many of the ideas you have about yourself aren't your own, but beliefs that you've internalized from the world around you. Maybe you are beginning to recognize the ways that those limiting beliefs have influenced your relationships and your career. The hidden message of this new moon is: Not everyone who whispers to you is doing so with your best intentions, including yourself. What story do you tell about who you are? Is it a story of power or a story of powerlessness? Is it a story of success or a story of failure? What if you were the author of a new, more loving story? You wouldn't accept these kinds of demeaning comments from another, so why allow them from your own inner voice? Just like the relationships you are reevaluating, your relationship to yourself needs that same scrutiny, and this new moon is here to make sure you cannot ignore that any longer. The invitation is here to rewrite your narrative from a place of radical authenticity and power, and it's up to you to decide if you will accept it. You have more power than you've allowed yourself to believe. Ignoring the first hidden message, the one about relationships, can lead to continued cycles of unhealthy patterns, even more conflict, and deeper feelings of isolation. These patterns are not going to fade away on their own. They are now amplified, more visible, and if left unchecked, will become even more challenging to resolve in the future. The energy of this new moon acts as an amplifier, making any unresolved issues in your relationships more intense. Avoidance is not going to work, and the longer you delay, the more challenging it will be to break free. The truth will be revealed, with or without your permission. This isn't a soft nudge. It's a harsh invitation into a new way of operating. The universe doesn't care if you are ready, it only cares if you are willing. These truths are here to set you free, but they might not feel that way at first. Are you willing to face the uncomfortable realities and to step into something greater? What are you going to do with this information? The choice is yours. Neglecting the second hidden message about career and purpose reveals that you are at a crossroads, and that staying on your current path can lead to even more profound dissatisfaction, missed opportunities, and a growing sense of aimlessness. This isn't a gentle feeling, but a deep knowing that you're not living up to your potential. This can create an internal conflict that becomes more challenging to ignore with each passing day. The price you are willing to pay for staying where you are is becoming greater and greater, and this moon is here to show you what that actually looks like. What is the price you are willing to pay for staying where you are? This energy is time-sensitive. Opportunities will not always be available. If you choose to ignore this message, you might find yourself stuck in the same cycle for longer than you want, and with greater feelings of discontent. This isn't about being ungrateful for what you have, but about being honest with yourself about what you deserve. If you aren't aligned with your purpose, you will always feel like something is missing. That itch you cannot scratch is here for a reason, and you have to pay attention. But it's the third hidden message, the one related to your personal narratives, that has the most long-lasting impact, and therefore the highest stakes. Neglecting this message reinforces the limiting stories that hold you back from your true potential. This is an opportunity to finally break free from those internal narratives that do not serve you. These stories have become prisons, and you now have the opportunity to be released, but it requires action and intention. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation of everything, and this shift will have an enormous impact on your relationships, your career, and your life in general. This may not be a comfortable process, but it will be an act of love toward your future self, creating a sense of both fear and excitement. This new moon is asking you, are you going to allow these stories to define you, or are you finally going to take control and create the story you were meant to live? You have a choice in this, and that's where the power lies. However, each of these challenges is not a dead end, it's a doorway. By addressing these relationship shifts head-on, you're not just clearing space for better connections, but also creating space for more aligned energy flow overall. What feels like an ending is simply the beginning of something more authentic. What seems like a problem to be solved is a situation that is ready to be rewritten. By facing the chaos, you are creating space for more harmony. Specifically, the ruthless honesty you bring to your relationships will lead you to create genuine connections, as one is not possible without the other. It's a shift from seeking superficial connection to creating bonds that are grounded in truth and vulnerability. The same goes for the other two aspects that are ready to be transformed. What might begin as an ending is simply the beginning of a better story. You are more powerful than you think, and the universe is ready to show you that. Just like our closest connections, our relationship to our purpose needs that same reevaluation, and the hidden message of this new moon is to help you see that. How do your current relationships allow you to be your most powerful self? If they do not, then they are not true relationships. They are distractions, and they're preventing you from your purpose. These areas are interconnected, and a disconnect in one will affect the other. This reevaluation isn't just about changing careers for the sake of changing. It's about aligning with the highest expression of your being, allowing you to experience greater fulfillment and abundance in all areas of your life. What if you did not have to do anything, but you got to do everything? Your actions should come from a place of yes, not have to. This new moon is calling you to step into your power and be the authority of your life. What would it feel like to know, without a doubt, that you were on the right path? And finally, this idea of rewriting your personal narratives will inevitably impact all of the other changes you will be making in your life. Your inner beliefs are the foundations from which you create your life, including your job, your relationships, and your overall sense of self. A conflict or dissatisfaction with your career is a reflection of your internal narrative. If you do not believe that you are worthy of abundance, your career will reflect that. If you are constantly questioning yourself, then it will show up in your relationships. By creating a new personal story, you will also attract better relationships and career opportunities. You are not who they say you are who you choose to be. The hidden message is that you have the ability to write this new story, and this new moon is here to support you in doing so. You are the author, the director, and the star of your own show. This isn't about simply changing external aspects of your life, but transforming the inner world that shapes everything else. What will you create? These messages are all pieces of the same puzzle, and they're ready to be pieced together. This isn't just about a new moon, it's about a new you. And now it's time to act. The universe doesn't need perfection, it needs your presence, your intention, and your courage. It is asking for you to take the leap and to step into the kind of life that you've been dreaming of, and it's ready to support you in doing so. Remember those boundaries you've been setting in your relationships? Now, take those same ideas to these hidden patterns of your identity. You're here for a reason, you were meant for more, and you've got the power to access it. You are not like most people, and because of this, you know it's time to act. Tonight, a new moon message arrived for you, and now it is your turn to go out there and rewrite the story of who you are. The next step is yours. These 3 hidden messages aren't separate pieces of advice, they're interconnected threads of a single, profound transformation. The shifts you're experiencing in your relationships, the reevaluation of your career path, and the rewriting of your personal narratives are all part of one unified awakening. It begins with the disruption in your relational patterns, a cosmic invitation to clear out what no longer serves you. This relational honesty then extends into your career, where you are asked to align with your true calling. This all culminates in the realization that you have the power to rewrite the very stories that define who you are. It's a journey from external chaos to internal empowerment, and each step is necessary. This isn't about fixing isolated issues. It's about aligning your entire life with your deepest truth. You aren't simply witnessing changes, you are creating them. Just as a sculptor shapes a piece of art, you are shaping your reality. It's not a passive process, and your participation is required. Did you notice the pattern? Each message began with a disruption or discomfort, a feeling that something was off. You might have felt those relational tensions, the burning dissatisfaction with your job, or the harsh criticisms of your inner voice. These weren't random occurrences, but precise signals, highlighting areas of your life that were ready for a new beginning. With relationships, it was about conflict being a doorway for better connection. With your career, it was about dissatisfaction pointing you to your true calling. And with your identity, it was about self-criticism paving the way for self-love. This is the energy of this specific new moon. It's a law of growth playing out in real time. Each of these problems is a catalyst for change, a sign that the universe is working to push you into the space you were always meant to inhabit. This isn't just about what you have observed, but what you are meant to embody. It's about how a cycle of challenge has always led you to your next chapter. The core message for you is that you have the power to rewrite your reality. This isn't a passive hope, it's a call to action. It's time to release the old patterns that have been dictating your life and start setting intentions from a place of radical authenticity. The new moon is providing the energy. It is up to you to direct it. This isn't a journey that will be without its challenges, but it is a journey that is necessary. You have the ability to create the life you want, and this new moon is here to show you the way. It will require courage and a deeper dedication to your truth, but it is not impossible, it is inevitable. You are capable of taking control and creating the life you have been dreaming of. The path ahead will not always be easy, but it will always be yours. You aren't here by accident. Your personal journey is deeply woven into the larger cosmic context of this new moon's unique energy. The specific challenges you are facing and the opportunities that are now presenting themselves are all part of a divine plan that is specifically designed for you. This message has found you for a reason. You were meant to receive it. You are not just an observer. You are an active participant in the evolution of your life and the evolution of the world. This is a journey unique to you, but there are many others walking this path alongside you. There is a sense of meaning and purpose that goes far beyond just personal transformation. You were chosen to receive these messages, and you are meant to move forward in a powerful way. Do not underestimate your role in this process, as it is more powerful than you could possibly know. The pattern of disruption followed by growth isn't just a one-time event linked to this new moon. It's a recurring cycle in your life, a universal dance of endings and beginnings. You now have the awareness to recognize this pattern and navigate it with intention. What felt like a random event was actually a divine orchestration. This new awareness allows you to move through these cycles with greater ease and with a sense of certainty that this is, in fact, how change occurs. You now understand that challenges are not here to punish you, but to push you into your true potential. You can now shift from seeing challenges as something that is happening to you to seeing them as something that is happening for you. This is a powerful shift in understanding, and it will transform the way you see your entire life. You have become the master of your cycles. By applying the messages you have received during this new moon, you are creating the space for profound and lasting change in your relationships, your career, and your overall sense of well-being. Ignoring these messages will only reinforce the patterns that no longer serve you and create a future for you that is not aligned with your truth. Your life is calling you into something bigger, and you have a choice as to whether or not you will answer that call. If you choose to embrace this path, your life is about to change in ways you cannot yet imagine. However, if you avoid the work, these same energies may overwhelm you, leaving you feeling more confused, more lost, and more disconnected. The potential for positive transformation is real, but so are the consequences of stagnation. The universe is not working against you, but for you, so have faith in what you feel. This new moon isn't calling you to stay the same, but to fully step into the authentic version of yourself. This is a catalyst for growth, and is here to show you what that looks like. Your purpose is calling, and it's demanding to be seen. It's time to break free from the chains of your past and embrace the limitless possibilities of your future. This isn't about perfection, it's about courage and your willingness to step into your true potential. You are not who you once were, you are becoming who you are meant to be. The path will not always be easy, but it will always be yours, and you are ready for it. This is an invitation to fully embrace the powerful force that you are becoming. Your power is only beginning to reveal itself. Let's revisit the three main areas: your relationships, career, and personal narratives. In your relationships, you are now equipped to create genuine connections built on honesty and vulnerability. What seemed like conflict was just the universe breaking down old patterns to create a stronger foundation. In your career, the dissatisfaction you might have felt is a direct signal guiding you toward your true purpose. The restless feeling is not random. It is an invitation for you to step onto your authentic path. And in your personal narrative, you now know that you have the power to rewrite the stories you've been telling yourself. What might have seemed like a life sentence is just an old chapter closing and a new one ready to begin. Each of these is an opportunity waiting for you to claim it. These are not threats, but invitations for deeper understanding and lasting transformation. This pattern of challenge leading to growth is the theme that will continue to play out in your life. What felt like a problem to solve is just a situation waiting to be rewritten, and with every rewrite, you are becoming more of who you were meant to be. What feels like an ending is actually a new door opening, and you are the only one with the power to walk through it. You've already been through so many challenges, and you have always come out stronger. This new moon is simply amplifying that natural process. If you've made it this far, you already know how powerful you truly are and how much you are capable of. The path will always be made clear as you continue to move forward with the intention to create. Embrace the challenges, knowing that they are there to guide you forward. What if this new moon is trying to tell you something and you aren't listening? That was the question we started with, and now you know the answer. You are now aware of the message, and you have all the tools to act upon it. You've come a long way, and you are now prepared for the next steps. The shifts have already begun, and now you simply have to follow through. The choices you make from this point forward will determine the trajectory of your life. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the author of your reality. This is your invitation to write a story that excites you, inspires you, and challenges you to become more. Now you know the answer, and you know what you must do. It is time to act. Any tension you might still feel is now dissolving, as you recognize that you aren't alone on this journey. You are surrounded by support, seen, loved, and understood. You have the knowledge and the awareness to navigate these shifts with grace and with power. The challenges you've faced up until now have been preparing you for this moment and for the journey ahead. You are not the same person you were when you started watching this video. You are a new version of yourself. The storm has passed, and the path is now clearer than ever. The time has come to fully embrace your power and to start living the life you are meant to live. This is not just about a new moon, it's about a new you, but this is not the end of your journey. It is simply the beginning of a new chapter. The messages that this new moon delivered are just the start of what is to come. The process of rewriting your reality is an ongoing one, and there may be other hidden messages to uncover in the future. This is just one step on a longer path, a doorway into a new way of being. You have only scratched the surface of what you are capable of, and there are so many discoveries ahead. This is not the time to stop moving forward, but to embrace the momentum you have generated. The principles we have discussed during this video will continue to apply to all areas of your life, far beyond what has been covered. From here on out, this awareness will give you new eyes and a new perspective. What you have learned here is not just something that is applicable to these specific areas, but a broader understanding of the flow of life and how to navigate the cycles of change and growth. You now have a new lens for viewing your past, present, and future. This is just one step in a larger process, and it's a process that will continue to unfold for as long as you choose to be a part of it. This information will continue to be useful as you continue on your spiritual path. I encourage you to share your experiences, insights, and any aha moments that you had during this video. By sharing your thoughts in the comments below, you are not only engaging with the content, but you are creating a community of like-minded individuals who are all on a similar path. Your insights are valuable, and they can help to guide others on their journeys, and their thoughts may guide yours. Your personal experiences are powerful, and the more you share, the more you learn and grow. This is not meant to be a solo journey. Remember, the universe is always communicating, and you can expect to receive more messages in the coming weeks. There is more to come. There is always more to discover about yourself, your purpose, and your potential. This journey is far from over. If you found this video valuable, please make sure to subscribe so that you can continue to be guided on your path. The next step is yours, and it is going to be an incredible one. And if you are ready for the next chapter, be sure to hit the subscribe button.